Welcome back. Today we will be talking about Ark Invest selling more Palantir stock on this recent rally. Now this should come as a surprise to no one, except it comes as a surprise to most. Now I want to explain not just the what, which is that Ark Invest has sold 1.8 million shares, which you have likely heard by now, it happened a few days ago, but rather the why. Why they're doing this, what their thesis is, if it has changed at all, and more specifically, their holdings as of currently and where it fits in with the rest of the institutional holders. I actually gained access to Bloomberg. Here's the Bloomberg terminal through the web browser here, so we'll take a look at that. But first of all, PLTR. Here we are, combined holdings. This is Kathy's Ark, I should say. So here we are looking at the historical data. So we have them initiating back on October 15th, so almost coming up on a year. All these greens are buys at points which they bought. And the first sell came after the bounce back from the Q1 earnings, post-earnings collapse, and then the rally there. So look, the first time they actually sold was around $27 and then $26. And I happen to believe they actually caused the sell-off. Maybe not the entire sell-off, but at least part of the sell-off put the top in for Palantir. Will that happen again here? I will get to that, at least my thoughts, because of course I cannot predict what will happen. But we had them selling. So here's the thing about Ark Invest. Some people say, oh, they're traders. No, they're not. They're investors. That's a fact. Here's what they do. They trade around volatility. They have their core holdings, their innovation holdings. They make it very clear what sort of markets they're in, what each of their ETFs hold on to. Right now, Palantir is in all of their funds, I believe. So they're very bullish on Palantir and believe it can really do so much for all of their different ETFs, spanning so much different theories of innovation. But basically, the idea is they can buy and sell the stock in their ETFs whenever they want to, and they can sell it without incurring capital gains. Now, this is a huge thing to point out, and it means that they can buy and sell, and you can benefit as a holder of their ETF and not have to pay taxes on the alpha they generate in that capacity. So Ark will try and generate alpha, as we've heard Palantir talk about that word so often. Ark, what they really want is you to hold as much money with them as possible because they charge a management fee for their ETFs. So if they can deliver the best returns possible, it's a win-win. You hold more of their funds and they make more money from you. So of course, they're going for the best returns possible. Investing in the company is they're transforming the future. And if that stock goes down, they will buy it. If the stock rises significantly, they will sell it. And they will buy it back on the way down. Now here's a tweet that I released. Or just tweeted, I don't know why I just said released. When I saw this news for the first time, I said buy low, sell high, listen to people complain, repeat, because that really is the cycle. We've seen it with Ark selling Tesla. They have an artificial restraint on how much they actually want to hold on to. So they'll buy the stock low, they'll sell it when it rises, as Tesla stock has recently, as Palantir has, and then they have to hear people complain about it. It's like this is literally how you make money in the stock market. You buy low and you sell higher. If you never sell, it's literally just paper gains, which is totally fine. Hold on as long as you want to, but they are specifically responsible for people's money. If you're responsible for your own money, don't sell. I don't plan to. But understand that they have different directives and what they need to accomplish is different than you and I, the institutional holder. They are not traders, they are investors. So moving on from that, let's just take a look. They were buying back. See, remember they sold here at 27 is what we were just looking at. And they were buying back, let's see, 24, 25, 23, yeah, basically around there. And this was right before and right after, maybe it was all right after, I forget. Well, actually, I can just check. Yeah, this was literally right after the Q2 earnings report. So they sold on the enthusiasm heading into the earnings report because the stock was really flying high, 27. We weren't really sure what was going to happen with the earnings report. The earnings came out and the stock was down at that point. So they bought huge. They brought it up to a huge percentage in their portfolio. I'll show you that in just a second. And now we are, the stock climbing all the way back above 28, above 29, and we have Palantir selling some, just 1.8 million shares. Their total holdings are 34 million. You'll see here, it were 37 million. I'm not sure if that was the peak, but anyway, they sold just now, basically, at 28 or 29 or so. Now, historically speaking, we only have one point at which to go off on this. They have timed the top pretty well, because I believe they put the top in for it. But anyway, I wouldn't be too concerned with Ark selling here. What I will tell you is the stock, if it keeps rising, Ark will sell again. So please do not be surprised by that. Maybe the market will. Maybe that will send Palantir on a little bit of a downward trajectory. But there's a lot of momentum going for it. Last thing I just wanted to touch on here before moving on was this weight in the portfolio. So look here. They sold, and then the stock was trending down, and then they bought huge after the earnings report. Look at that huge gap up in weight of portfolio percentage from, let's see, 1.3 all the way up to 1.7, all the way up to, at the very peak here, 2.3, and then when the stock was rising, not buying, 2.4. Will buy big when they want to, when they see fit, selling, and it barely dropped anything because it was just 1.8 million shares. So there we are, only 2 sells. We were selling an Ark K and Ark W. The rest are still there. Nothing to worry about in my opinion. I just wanted to give you that context that you may have missed. So here's another thing. Here we are on Bloomberg terminal. I really need to figure out how to use this thing, but we're on the PLTR. Let's see here. Institutional ownership. We'll see Peter Thiel, if you want to take a look at his holdings. Here's a little chart here, a graph. Again, I'm not entirely sure. It looks like his holdings have trended up over time, so maybe I'm just looking at the wrong thing here. But if we look at Alex Karp, obviously, here's his holdings. If I click on that chart again, you'll see they have trended lower because we know he's been selling a bunch. But let's take a look at Ark Invest now. And I'm not sure how often this is actually updated on Bloomberg here. I think it goes through the filings, so it's not instant like Ark actually publishes every day after the close of the market, so we know. But we'll see how much their holdings have been trending up from 1.7. Let's see, when was that? That was the end of last year up to the end of the quarter. Okay, so this is quarterly information. Up to 18.6 million, and then 30, and then what is that right there? That is another 30. So basically flat. Nothing to worry about in my opinion. They're trimming a very small amount. They will continue to trim if the stock rises, and they will buy if it falls. It's that simple. So let me know what else you want me to cover from the Bloomberg terminal here. Now that I have access to it, I will just do a little search and we'll get to the main page here for Palantir. If we want to take a look at the chart, let's say, we'll just wait for this to open up, and here we are on the chart. What I like to look at is if we just click into this and then manipulate the chart a bit, this gives you a better idea of where Palantir stock has been trending. If we kind of move those peaks out of the way, that was kind of very much an anomaly, an irregularity, if you will. We'll see Palantir stock is actually trading in a fairly tight range from 29, I'd say, 30 perhaps, down to, what was this here on the chart? It says 19. So within a $10 range, it's been trading pretty accurately within this range. Now, I think many people are excited to see if technically Palantir will break out of this range, reach up to 30, blow past that. Again, that's more technical if you want to see what's going to happen with the chart. Fundamentally, we're into the third quarter. We're not too near to any earnings report or anything. Still awaiting any big announcements if they are to come from Palantir management, Palantir investor relations. We'll see. Again, I thought perhaps something would be coming with all this marketing they're doing, but maybe not. So I just wanted to give this update, share what I'm thinking. It's really a misunderstanding of who they are and what they do, rather than actually them losing confidence in Palantir. You already knew that. Oh, here's a news story. Palantir's social media volume rises 7 signals since September 14th. Let's see what it says. Social media postings about Palantir increased in the past half hour. Oh, I guess this is out of date by now, but Twitter sentiment about Palantir is somewhat positive. I think it always is for the most part. Anyway, lots of cool stuff on here. Please let me know what you want me to dig into. I will catch you in the next video.